Do you see the possibility of massive political upheaval due to, yeah, I guess a crisis in political legitimacy, or is that too strong?
Oh, I think if anything, it's understated. Absolutely. I mean, the European leadership have put Europe in a catastrophic situation. I mean, you know the details, and people watching this, I'm sure. I mean, you know, the business model of Europe has collapsed. The standard of living of Europeans is collapsing. There's huge tension with other aspects, with immigration, and there are no all the bridges, the political bridges out have been destroyed deliberately by the European Union and their insistence on a cordon sanitaire that just the center parties, often minorities. I mean, you know, the NSS was quite right on that. But, I mean, it is neither democratic, nor particularly legitimate. And the whole process, I mean, has been so badly handled that Europe faces a catastrophic situation. It's on bad terms with China. It's on bad terms with Russia. It's on bad terms with America and with this administration. I know they may be hoping that there'll be a new president, you know, quite soon. But, you know, hope isn't a strategy. And meanwhile, they've given up energy. And in return for highly expensive liquid natural gas from America. It's a disaster. And I think the answer to your question is what do you do? I mean, I think it's very obvious what happens. It is that if you protest in Europe, you will be suppressed and violently suppressed. I mean, you saw what happened in Paris at the protests. All of it is clearly a concerted, deliberate plan to not allow protests. Protests are reacted with violence, quite strong violence. I think the French have got something like 80,000 at one point of anti-riot police fighting protests. I mean, this is war, not. I mean, that doesn't sound like policing. And the same, it's just not reported. But there are protests and there are strikes in places like Italy, not reported, hardly covered in the press. Whole, you know, Italy shut down. And so not too violent, but some violence in it. And if protests don't work, if forming an alternative opposition party doesn't work, look what's happened to them. They've all been, you know, branded as far right or facing bans, or their leaders are being targeted and under lawfare or some form of corruption. I mean, whether we take it in Romania or Moldova or France, all of these, you know, you start a party that is not in the within the cordon sanitaire, and the leaders will be, you know, attacked, will be corrupt or outside of the law. So if protests don't work, if voting doesn't work, if you only have Tweedledum and Tweedledee to vote for, what's the point of that? So as things get worse, and people get poor, and life becomes very intolerably hard for them, yes, they will turn to insurrection.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time. It's no, it's not a fun time in in Europe anymore. It's just I wouldn't really wanted to ask you about this because every time I speak to anyone, the main question is always, well, what are the Europeans doing? Because there's always some understanding for the Americans. They can understand the Russians, they can understand the Ukrainians, but the Europeans are always a bit of an enigma, which is a good indication that they might not, that is European leaders acting in their own national interests. But
And you know, because they're desperate. I mean, they're going to lose everything by having made these bad decisions. they're going to, lose the one thing, the glue that held the European Union together. They're going to lose their credibility. They're going to have lost their business model. They faced financial fiscal crisis and collapsing standards of living of their electorates. It's pretty it's my very enviable situation. No wonder they are doubling down in their desperation, hoping against hope that something will turn up and that Trump will be sort of change his view and will come and save them from what they must surely expect is going to be a very uncomfortable period.